Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. The first delivery of humanitarian aid was made into Gaza today from a pier the U.S. military built off the coast in an attempt to help Israel remedy appearances of a genocide. Israel's blocked aid delivery into southern Gaza and at times allowed it to trickle in, causing a famine in the north and the risk of widespread famine across the Gaza Strip. U.S. military officials anticipate the new pier could allow up to 150 truckloads a day to enter the Gaza Strip as Israel increases its ground offensive in the southern city of Rafah. But the U.S. and aid groups also warned the pier is not considered a substitute for land deliveries that could allow in all the food, water, and fuel needed to deliver aid in Gaza. FSN's Ollie Barrett has more.
Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh says the pier doesn't replace the need for other humanitarian routes.
The purpose of this temporary pier is to deliver critical humanitarian assistance to the Palestinian people. The pier is temporary and not meant to replace land routes into Gaza. And last, this is an internationally backed effort coordinated with the United Nations. The U.S. military is merely providing the logistical support to enable humanitarian aid to flow into Gaza from the sea.
Several hundred tons of aid is due to enter Gaza via a floating pier. I'm Ollie Barrett.
UN spokesperson Farhan Haq warns without fuel, aid will go nowhere.
Without a consistent fuel supply, everything stops. Trucks, hospitals, generators for hospitals, and systems critical to the water, sanitation, and hygiene response, such as for desalination and sewage pumping.
Before the war, more than 500 truckloads entered Gaza on an average day. Israel denies South Africa's charges of genocide before the United Nations top court and says it's doing everything it can to protect the civilian population during its military operation in Rafah. Gilad Noam is Israel's Deputy Attorney General. He spoke before the International Court of Justice today in another claim brought by South Africa.
Israel is engaged in a difficult and tragic armed conflict. South Africa ignores this factual context, which is essential in order to comprehend the situation, and also ignores the applicable legal framework of international humanitarian law. It makes a mockery of the heinous charge of genocide.
South Africa made arguments seeking the High Court to curtail Israel's Rafah invasion. Christopher Martinez reports.
Professor Von Loh presented South Africa's legal arguments. He says if the court does not act now, the possibility of rebuilding a viable Palestinian society in Gaza will be destroyed for a lifetime.
Israel's actions in Rafah are part of the end game, in which Gaza is utterly destroyed as an area capable of human habitation. This is the last step in the destruction of Gaza and its Palestinian people.
Lawyer Max Duplessis told the court the Rafah operation is fast leading to what he calls the deadliest phase in this ongoing genocide.
And now, by these actions, Israel's genocide of Palestinians continues through military attacks and man-made starvation, and while mocking this court's provisional measures of protecting the rights of Palestinians under the Genocide Convention.
Reporting for Pacifica Radio News KPFA, I'm Christopher Martinez.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott granted a full pardon to the right-wing MAGA extremist who killed a Black Lives Matter protester and Air Force veteran in 2020, Garrett Foster. FSN's Tony Waterman reports.
Daniel Perry was convicted of killing Garrett Foster, a white man legally carrying an AK-47 at a BLM protest 4 years ago. Perry, who drove his car into demonstrators, claimed self-defense, saying Foster raised his weapon. But witnesses said that never happened. Unsealed documents show Perry made racist comments on social media and text messages before the shooting. After the conviction came down, Abbott said he would grant a pardon, and Perry is once again a free man. Reaction has been swift, the attorney for Foster's mother saying she is in shock, while Foster's girlfriend says the pardon is politically motivated. Tony Waterman, Texas.
The Texas Black Legislative Caucus called the governor's pardon disturbing, a shocking miscarriage of justice, and an all-time low, warning, quote, this pardon not only undermines the justice system, but also sends a chilling message that politically motivated violence is acceptable. unquote. Donald Trump's lawyers sought to erode the credibility of his former attorney Michael Cohen, who is the prosecution's key witness in a criminal election hush money trial against Trump. Trump's denied wrongdoing and denies 34 felony counts he's charged with for allegedly paying an adult film star to stay quiet about an affair during his 2016 presidential campaign, then lying about it on the books. Republicans jumped to Trump's defense Thursday outside the courthouse. 2 House committees have moved ahead with contempt charges against Attorney General Merrick Garland for refusing to turn over audio from President Joe Biden's interview with a special counsel investigating Biden's handling of classified documents. No wrongdoing was found in that investigation, and the transcript of the interview is public. Garland advised the White House to claim executive privilege, which is the basis of the contempt vote. The House Judiciary and Oversight and Accountability Committees voted along party lines to hold Garland in contempt. It's unclear whether the U.S. Attorney's Office will act on that referral. I'm Christina Onnested reporting for Pacifica Radio.